Hello, I'm Randy Swallow. Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. For the next half hour, we'll talk county issues and District F issues with a man who represents the area, your commissioner, Commissioner Justin Jones. Good morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
A little brisk out here today, and you make me look like I'm a wimp. But, we're here at the soon-to-open Cougar Creek Park near Wigwam and Rainbow in District F. District F is located primarily in the southwest part of the valley, extending north to Charleston Boulevard. This vast district also includes plenty of rural areas, including the communities of Blue Diamond, Sloan, Good Springs, Sandy Valley, Jean, all the way to the California border at Prim. Here's a quick look in your neighborhood, District F. District F is home to the newest downtown in Clark County, downtown Summerlin. The county's largest master plan community has developed a couple million square feet for dining, shopping, entertainment, and more in a mixed-use, fully walkable marketplace. Other major game-changing private businesses choosing to slide into District F include the swimmingly successful Wet n Wild Water Park. And expect furniture fans to flock to the iconic blue and yellow behemoth IKEA store near the 215 Beltway in Durango, a Swedish-designed retailer that is the world's largest. And another master-planned neighborhood, Mountain's Edge, continues to rise in District F. Thousands of residents now enjoy recreating at Phase 1 of the newly opened Mountain's Edge Regional Park, with some of the coolest facilities in town. Desert Breeze Regional Park continues to be one of the best, with an indoor-outdoor aquatic center and hundreds of acres of green space and more. And the rural portions of District F include Sandy Valley, Blue Diamond, Good Springs, and Jean, lending a slice of the slower lifestyle compared to the fast-paced urban growth for residents and businesses in District F. Commissioner, people have been breaching the fence all around this park already. They're anxious to get this thing going, but what an amazing park. How about this area, a little fitness area here already, right next to where people can watch their kids play?
Absolutely. This is amazing amenities that our team have put together over here for the kids, the big kids, the little kids, and for the adult kids to get out here and really enjoy a beautiful park.
It's a nice combination too. We've got some artificial turf, some natural grass, and then of course some desert landscaping. So that's a good mix of all those elements.
Yeah, I think it really fits in with the neighborhood over here, and people I think are just going to really love it. We got the school across the street. Kids can come over here after school. Parents can pick them up and just come right over and enjoy a beautiful park.
Commissioner, neighborhood parks like this are vital. Look at you mentioned Mark Fine School Elementary there. We've got new housing developments on 3 other sides. This is truly going to be a neighborhood gem for people that are just going to be able to walk across the street to their park.
Absolutely, and I know I've run around this area before. I know people are going to be able to take a jog with their family, grab the stroller and push it over here and just get out and exercise and grab the soccer ball and just enjoy a true neighborhood park.
Behind us also there's pickleball. That's one of the first elements we normally see in Clark County parks. There is an outcry. Pickleball is a very popular, very fast-growing sport.
It is. My parents retired to St. George recently, and that is the rave up in St. George, and so we've got a new pickleball court complex coming to Sunset Park, but really exciting to have a facility right here in the Southwest.
You mentioned Mark Fine Elementary School. Is that a little bit better use of bang for our buck than keeping it close to elementary schools where kids then are in such close proximity to parks like this?
I think so. I mean, it's a natural fit for over here. Saw kids getting dropped off at school this morning, and just a really great opportunity for the kids and the parents over in this part of town.
And I know your predecessor, Commissioner Susan Brager, held a contest that a student from that school actually named this place Cougar Creek Park.
Yeah, it's a fantastic name. Really gets to Cougar, which is the street over here. But I think it really highlights the beauty of this area over here.
Another interesting play area there, Commissioner. A little natural area kind of thing.
They did some fantastic things with the amenities here. Unique product that you're not going to see in any other park. So I know the kids are really excited to get out here and enjoy something new.
And people in these neighborhoods, Commissioner, that they don't want necessarily a softball field or a football field or anything like that, but there is great walking areas, which is obviously a very important element.
Sure, I mean, it's a great opportunity, like you said. If the kids are over here, you can take a walk, take a stroll here in the park. I know in the parks that are near me, that's where I go do my speed drills over in the park, and so this would be a great opportunity for the folks over here to get out there and take a walk, take a run.
How important is it to have, when you have new development coming in, for them to say, hey, I've got a new park coming in right next door?
It's huge. I mean, this is a lifestyle issue, and we want to make sure that we have parks, that we have schools, that we have jobs all in the same area so that people can really stay in their area, live, work, play.
Commissioner, thank you for that little tour. And gosh, here in the Southwest, there's a big park boom going on right now. Let's take a little inventory of some of the other parks. You've got one at LeBaron and Lindell. That park is about 50% completed.
Yeah, they're working on the design. It's between middle school and elementary school, and some really exciting amenities over there. Dog park, which is a big deal in the Southwest. And I think also exciting, we're working with one of the developers over there, so that we'll also, in addition to the park itself, we'll have some additional pathways, some additional trails that will jut out from the park itself.
And again, that one seems quite similar to this one, where there's much neighborhood around there. And again, that's obviously got to be a huge benefit for the developer and for the people that are thinking about calling an area like that home.
Right, again, it's really about making sure that we have communities here in the Southwest, and having the parks near the schools, I think, is a tremendous benefit. It's somewhere they can go after school and play, and obviously in the summers they can go be near their schools, but be in the park.
A little bit further east of here, TP and Patrick, another park site there, also about 50% complete. Bring us up to date on that project.
Sure, this was an area that really was in need of a community park. There isn't really a resource over in that area for folks, and one of the exciting things about that park, somewhat similar to over here at Cougar Creek, is we're incorporating the existing wash that runs through the park to really highlight from an educational perspective how our desert works over here, and there'll be some educational signage about the wash, and also dog park again. So we'll have, in addition to the Mountains Edge Park that recently added dog facilities, we'll have 3 additional dog parks in the Southwest.
Commissioner, and I know last year in that, I believe that's a 10-acre park in that area, you held a number of neighborhood meetings. And again, that's vital to get people in the area to buy in and say, hey, I want a baseball diamond, I don't want a baseball diamond, I want a dog park, I want things like that. And that helps in the design process right from the get-go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Literally, the folks that lived in that area, they had amenities on there, and they got to vote, check the box, and that really was incorporated into the decisions on what went into that park.
You touched basically on Mountains Edge, and I know that's a fantastic park already. Last year you opened up 4 full adult baseball diamonds there, and a new dog park that just opened up earlier in the last couple months or so. Talk to me about that place.
Sure. So the Mountains Edge Master Association, they had some additional grass area at one of their existing parks, and had a great idea of just converting it into a 3-stage dog park. I was there for the opening, adopted a new puppy myself recently, so really looking forward to the opportunity to get out there. And I'll tell you that the dogs, I ran past there on Sunday, and the dogs are so happy to just get out there and run around without being on a leash.
Mountains Edge is a unique place, and again, a lot of the things what we've just talked about have happened out there, where boom, they came out there, and I know that's also where you live, just to full disclosure here, but several of the parks there that they built, and several of them that they built or in cooperation with the county. Explain how that cooperation works.
Sure. So as part of a master development like Mountains Edge, Summerlin, some of the other areas like that, the developer will build the parks, and sometimes they'll turn it over to the county, as the case with Mountains Edge. Sometimes they maintain the parks themselves, and so there is a large regional park. Some of the facilities have been built out there. There's some nice trails out there, the additional baseball diamonds, but also looking forward in the future to additional resources at the Mountains Edge Regional Park.
That one has been built in phases and will continue to do so?
Yep.
Okay, let's continue on. Southwest Ridge and Trailhead. I know a lot of people have been excited about that, and that's going to be one of the most unique parks a couple miles west of here.
Definitely very excited for that one. That one again is adjacent to an existing school. It has some interesting topography. It kind of goes up the side of a mountain, and so there'll be resources down at the bottom, but also trailheads so that you can go to the park, get some water at the drinking fountain, but then head off for a mile or two hike.
If I'm not mistaken, that one is more in cooperation with Summerlin. Is that right? With similar.
It is working with Summerlin and also with some SNPLMA funding, with federal funding.
You also talked about Desert Breeze, which is already one of our finest regional parks, probably the best regional park so far here in your district. And there's been some new LED lights and gym floor and things like that. But I know something you're really excited about is a new community event center. Talk to me about that.
Sure. So on the original plans for Desert Breeze, there was an event center that was planned, and it took a long time to really get it going. My predecessor, Commissioner Brager, before she left, she dedicated about $7.5 million to get it started, and we're really looking forward, hopefully with some hotel room tax revenue that the county is in charge of next month in March, hopefully providing some additional revenue to really build it out the way we want and create a real true regional facility that people can come to and enjoy events, concerts, and other types of events.
And even things like, I know you're inventorying or taking a look at places like in Henderson. They've got a fantastic place. Even downtown near the D Hotel Resort, where boom, all of a sudden there's a hockey game, a football game. You could get 8,000 or 10,000 people together, get some refreshments going on, and everyone can watch the game and congregate. And what a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't have anything like that in the Southwest right now, really on the whole West Side. And so it will be really a community resource to bring together from people on the West Side, from the city of Las Vegas, from unincorporated Clark County, and really come together and enjoy a facility at a lower cost than going down to the Strip. Obviously, there are acts that come in town that want to be able to participate, and I think this will be a great opportunity.
And again, Desert Breeze, Mountain's Edge are more regional parks. Just it kind of explain to the difference for our viewers what regional parks are compared to neighborhood parks such as this one.
Sure, a neighborhood park like this one really serves the immediate community within a mile or two. A regional park is really for people that live within 5 or so miles of the facility. And really incorporates resources that you wouldn't see in a traditional park like this. Good example, James Regional Park, huge soccer complex. Obviously, you're not going to put 16 fields in a neighborhood like this, but a regional park like that serves the entire community for soccer tournaments, baseball tournaments, events like we're talking about at Desert Breeze.
All right, we must take a short break. We'll continue in your neighborhood with your Commissioner, Justin Jones. Stay tuned.
I think I'd be locked up right now if it weren't for the harbor.
Fighting drug or alcohol use and changes in behavior are all warning signs that a youth may need help.
I got in a fight and got expelled from school, and my mom took me to the harbor for help.
The harbor is a safe haven for troubled kids and their families. The goal is to give them resources so problems don't escalate. We know kids in crisis can become adults in crisis. Prevention and early intervention work.
They helped me get my life back on track. Sometimes you just need a fresh start.
The harbor offers hope and second chances.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
District F is home to Desert Breeze Regional Park, Aquatic and Rec Center. At 119 acres, Desert Breeze is the second largest park in all of Clark County. This place is a hub for nearly every type of sport and recreation, including baseball, football, soccer, softball, basketball, and more. Desert Breeze boasts the first ever dog park in the county system and acres of green space for walking, picnicking, or just lounging. The rec center has an indoor gym, fitness center, and hosts hundreds of classes and programs weekly. And the aquatic center is busy year-round with instruction, lifeguard training, and free swimming indoors and a great seasonal outdoor pool. Desert Breeze is located at Durango and Spring Mountain in District F, and we're talking District F issues with the man who represents the area, your Commissioner, Justin Jones. Commissioner, public safety is obviously very huge in your district as well. We recently had a new substation that opened up in Summerlin for the Summerlin Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Now, that's not in your district, but obviously much of their area includes District F, including probably right where we are. Huge.
Yeah, definitely. It was an exciting resource, and really appreciate Howard Hughes, the developer, for paying the cost for the land and the building. That'll really give the opportunity for folks in Summerlin to know exactly where to go for the resources and issues that they have in their community, and about half of their area command will be the Summerlin Area Command.
You've also got 2 fire stations coming up in your area, 35 and 39, a little different on each of those ones, including our friends Howard Hughes at Station 35. Talk to me about that.
Sure. So as part of the development agreement with Summerlin, they're obligated to build a couple of fire stations, and this is one that will be coming online in the next 18 months. They're working through the design and hoping to get ready for breaking ground on that shortly.
And that one's at Flamingo and Azimuth Point Drive, and then also Fire Station 39, a little bit more traditional, the 3-bay typical county one at Rainbow and Raven. So then that one will be built more under the county guidelines.
We may look to some developers in that area, which is not far from here, to help out with that. But we're in need of multiple fire stations here in the Southwest, and we are looking to get those rolling as quick as possible. Response rates obviously are critical, and so the county is committed to making sure that people in this community are safe. That means buildings, it means trucks, but it also means the firefighters who put their life on the line every day.
Parks and public safety, I should say, are probably 2 of the most vital things that everyone is looking for in quality of life, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you move to a community, you want to know that it's safe. You want to know that the police are going to get to your house if somebody breaks in. You want to know that if you have an issue at your house, that the firefighters can get there, and they want to know that obviously the schools and the parks are close and walkable, and live in a truly livable community.
Commissioner, it must be exciting for you to live in such a fast-growing area such as this one. I know there's been a handful of new traffic signals that are coming on too, which are all part and parcel of what we've just talked about. Your most recent one is at Grand Canyon and Russell. Talk to me about why signals are needed and how you go about doing these.
Sure. So anytime that folks bring to the county's attention that there's been some issues, traffic concerns, accidents, we do what's called a traffic study, and the traffic study determines what type of use is available there, whether it be a stop sign, a flashing stop sign, a traffic signal, a pedestrian crossing. As a result of that traffic study, the county public works team puts together a proposal to make sure it gets funded and that we move forward. And certainly with Grand Canyon and Russell, that's been an issue for a while.
And one obviously that was sadly required to be put in place was at Fort Apache and Arby. Obviously a 12-year-old boy lost his life due to a car accident there, and you promised the family and that community that you were going to do what you just said.
Yeah, I was at the vigil, and I had the opportunity to meet Johnny's mom. And I made her a promise that day that I was going to make sure that it got moving, and the traffic study that was done showed that there was a signal needed there in order to ensure safety for the kids in that area. And fortunately, our fantastic public works team was able to move it along quicker than they expected, and it was ready to go before school reopened after the holidays.
Not trying to take this conversation on such a down or anything like that, but I know fire safety is obviously very huge. Yep. Obviously, there was that tragic fire downtown in the city of Las Vegas at the Alpine Motel, which prompted all other jurisdictions, including you and your colleagues, to let's take a look at all of our facilities. So now there's been a very profound effort to inspect facilities such as that with our fire department, with our building folks. Tell me about the fire safety measures you've taken.
Sure. Anytime we have a tragedy like the Alpine fire, I think it's incumbent on we as public officials to look internally and make sure that we're not missing anything. And so that's what we've done internally. We've talked to our fire protection team, building department, and fire department about what we can do better, what are the trouble spots, and so we're really focused on those types of apartments that have the internal hallways. This was part of the issue with the Alpine fire, doors being locked, and so as a result of the discussion with the county commission a few weeks ago, letters have already gone out to all the apartment owners, letting them know that we'll be doing inspections, and we're looking at some other opportunities to really get out there in the field, make sure that people are safe when they're living in apartment buildings and throughout our community.
How many, do we have any numbers? Do you have any idea of how many facilities, how many places that will be inspected such as that?
Well, we have several thousand apartment buildings, but we're really focused on the ones that are older. The ones that are newer obviously have fire sprinklers and are less of a fire risk. So we're looking at those that were built before fire sprinklers were required. And with them, obviously, the ones that have those internal hallways. They're a garden style apartment. It's a little bit easier to obviously exit if a fire happens. But if they have a hallway, we want to make sure that those are really the top priority right now.
Gotcha. Commissioner, recently you and more than 150 volunteers recently cleaned up one of the largest cleanups, I believe, in years here, maybe ever, at the Bird Springs area cleanup, also with the great friends at Get Outdoors Nevada. You all flocked to Bird Springs for the cleanup. Tell me about that day.
Sure. So one of the beautiful natural areas we have that's just south of Mountain's Edge is Bird Springs. We're hoping as part of a public lands bill that it will be dedicated permanently as an area of critical environmental concern for special management. And so we thought it would be a great idea to get out there and do some cleanup out there. We actually blew the doors off of the registration and had more than 150 people show up. It was a beautiful day, and the kids were out there, the parents were out there, and it was great to work with Get Outdoors Nevada for a fantastic project.
I know we all sat out there last fall for that area, for all the public lands. Bring us up to date on what's going on in public lands in that area and with the federal government.
Sure. So the lands bill is moving through Congress. Senator Cortez Masto is taking the lead on the ideas for more conservation. As part of the most recent proposal, there is substantial more wilderness and conservation protections in it, and so we'll see. It's an election year, so it's always hard to know what's going to happen in Congress right now.
Shifting gears a little bit too, also, I know in this area, the public transportation obviously is an issue. And I know that's something that you've been on the forefront, Commissioner. You've been contacted many times over the years from folks who would like to have access to bus service, but also paratransit service. You're working with the RTC on that?
Yep, that's something that I've raised with RTC from the beginning when I got elected. We had a good discussion in the fall of last year, and they were going through this onboard process where they're really going out in the community and asking what was important to the community, and they are wrapping up that process actually in the next few weeks. And as part of that, expanded service to the Southwest is a top priority. So they're still looking at how you do that, what are the funding mechanisms for it, but it's a top priority. In terms of paratransit is tied to the fixed route bus service. So if a bus route goes to a particular area, then the paratransit service is within 3/4 of a mile of that fixed route. So in order to have better paratransit service, we need more fixed route bus lines in the Southwest.
And obviously, as you mentioned, the onboard, they're doing public meetings and surveys. You're obviously encouraging anyone to take part and have their voice be heard.
Sure. So onboard is asking for public comment on their proposals, and so you can go to onboardsnv.com and rate their 8 different proposals.
All right. We must take a short break. We'll continue in your neighborhood here in beautiful District F with your Commissioner, Justin Jones. Stay tuned.
Every year, the Southern Nevada Water Authority performs more than 300,000 analyses from 30,000 water samples to ensure that our water continues to meet Federal Safe Drinking Water Act standards. While your water is tested and treated by top experts, you may still be considering a water filter or other home treatment device. Before you decide, ask the Southern Nevada Water Authority for objective information about these systems. No one knows more about water quality than your local water agency.
Millions of Americans have their packages stolen right from their doorstep or mailboxes by porch pirates each year. Here are some tips to help foil the thieves. Require a signature upon delivery. Have your packages delivered to you at work, or have them held at your local post office for pickup. If available, take advantage of the ship-to-store option. Some online retailers offer a locker service you can use, or have your packages delivered to the home of a friend or relative you know will be home. Package thefts are a crime of opportunity. Help protect your packages and peace of mind.
District F is home to the master plan community of Mountains Edge. Mountains Edge continues to be one of the finest neighborhoods in Clark County, with 12,000 homes spread across 3,500 acres. Mountains Edge contains some of the finest parks in the valley, including Exploration Peak, Iowa Park, Nathaniel Jones, and the adjacent Mountains Edge Regional Park. Since its inception in 2004, this community has combined a small town feel with hiking trails, the natural desert landscaping in the southwest part of the valley in District F. And speaking of District F, we're talking with your Commissioner, Justin Jones. Commissioner, back to what Metro is doing now, using some new technology called ShotSpotter, which triangulates the sound of where gunshots are actually fired. They're already crediting at least one murder that they've solved due to that. Tell me about ShotSpotter.
Sure. So Metro, Sheriff Lombardo and our County Commission Chair, Marilyn Kirkpatrick, have been working on a partnership that really went out into the field with two areas of town that were of particular concern. So they tested the technology in those areas, and it was a tremendous success in identifying places where gunshots occurred and making sure that those crimes were solved much quicker than just simply calls to the police station. And so as a result of the successful partnership, we're expanding that ShotSpotter program in additional areas, and one of those are in District F. And so very excited for the prospect of rolling ShotSpotter out more in our community, because again, it's about public safety, it's about making sure that these types of gun crimes are solved more quickly, and that in some circumstances it's saved people's lives where the ShotSpotter program identified where gunfire occurred, and our emergency preparedness folks were able to get out there and save a person's life as a result of it.
We'll keep an eye on that. And finally, Commissioner, here we are in February. Tell me what's on your plate, what you and your staff are working on for the next couple months.
Sure. So definitely working on addressing climate change and making sure that we work on infill development. This is one of those areas where we've infilled with a beautiful park, but there are a lot of still vacant parcels out here in the southwest, and we'd like to make sure that as we grow, we do it in the right way, and that involves making sure that we fill in those parcels that are still vacant.
All right, always a pleasure. We'll get back with you in a month or two, and we'll see some of the other new parks here in District F.
Thanks, Randy.
All right. That wraps up this edition of In Your Neighborhood. Thanks to Commissioner Justin Jones for taking time to tell us about the area he calls home and represents as your elected official, District F. If you have any questions about this show or ideas for upcoming segments in your neighborhood, call me. I'm at 455-6357, or send an email to rsw@clarkcountynv.gov. Thanks for tuning in to Clark County Television. On behalf of our production staff, I'm Randy Swallow. We'll see you again next time in your neighborhood.